Hello, welcome to my channel. Welcome to all of Elly. If this is the first time you're coming to my channel, welcome back. If you're a returning subscriber or you have watched a video on my channel before, thank you for coming again to support my channel. I really do appreciate it. This video was basically motivated by the mindset that I see some people having, especially people who do not live abroad, the mindset that they have about people who live abroad, maybe because of people that they've associated with that has traveled abroad, or maybe because of the people that they now associate with that are abroad. This video is to talk about, different kinds of immigrants abroad. You have the immigrants that are struggling, really struggling. You have the immigrants that are struggling averagely, and you have the immigrants that are not struggling at all. Like, life is just milk and honey. Life is just, sweet, 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 sweet. Everything is just click, 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 click. Just at least 0.9 struggle you get. This is my own humble opinion. This is what I feel like I have seen and I have experienced while living abroad, or while living in the UK, if you would like to say more specifically. So there are three types of immigrants that I would explain or try to explain in this video. The first one are students, the category of students. The second one are the categories of those who migrated abroad on a skilled worker visa, or those who migrated abroad with employment, labor, they are employed. People who migrate while they are employed, or people who migrated because of employment. Three are those people who illegally migrated to another country. So we're going to look at these three sets of people in relation to the struggles that one might have as an immigrant abroad. Let's look into the population of the student immigrant. Obviously, if you're an immigrant abroad, you're not going to experience the juicy life at first, because you are basically struggling. And I'm talking about if you don't have support. I'm sorry if there's a noise in the background. Kids are playing, and if they are playing, you know how kids are. So excuse the noise in the background, please. We know that as a student, if you're studying abroad, there will be struggles. Like, there would be an extent of struggle, and the extent of struggle depends on how capable you were in your country before you migrated to this other, Western country, or it depends also on the support that you get from your parents or relative. I'm not talking about the students who have like the support of daddy and mommy. Like, daddy and mommy pays like 100% of the bills, or even like 90% of the bills. You're flexing, you have allowance coming from wherever, either an uncle, or even you have sponsorship sometimes as a student. I'm talking about the students who have made up their mind to come abroad and study and fend for themselves. I'm talking of those students, and sometimes you might have help, but the help that you have is like 10%. I'm talking about those kind of students. So this kind of students would have like a bit of a struggle at first. They'll not even have, some people really have high struggle. I know stories of people who basically what they came abroad with, students that what they came abroad with is what would last them for maybe not even up to a month. What they had before they left their countries, their flight tickets, money to maybe buy one or two things when they come abroad. Like, what they are going to do, the means of sustenance the next month, next 2 months, is nowhere to be found. Like, those students, obviously they will struggle. The extent of struggle will be much. Do you get me? So, but it gets better as they come into the system. They start working, and they finish school in a few years, and they start working also. Now they're earning, things are becoming better within the student immigrant department group. I mean to say, within the student group, or the student immigrant group, there are still some people that is better for. Take for instance, you have a spouse, and possibly you don't have children who you need to pay nursery for, all those kind of things. If you have a spouse, the spouse might even be working and bringing in extra income, compared to if you just come yourself as an immigrant. you would work for yourself, you would work it like it will be real. As I said, I don't know why I keep saying the struggle is real, but it's basically real. So when you now get on to, you know, the nice times where you finish your school, both people are working or just yourself, you're working, then things begin to get easier. On that scale, in that time, you're living the life. A little, still not yet. It would take, possibly for some people, depending on what you're doing, it would take so much time, or it would now take a little bit more time for you to live the life. So let's move on from the student group. Let's move on to the skilled worker group. I mean the group that came because of employment, the group that came with employment. This group will find it easier at first because obviously you have employment, you know, you came because of employment, you have your permit, you're not struggling to pay you know, school fees, or you're not struggling to, you know, take care of yourself when you don't have a job. You know, this group came, you know, easy. It came to them easy. This group would much more recuperate themselves in terms of their finances. If there was even any, you know, struggle with finances, they would, you know, tend to recuperate themselves much more better and earlier than obviously the student group. This group have it a bit easy for them. There's still the struggle, you know, paying bills. It hits them like whoa. It hits them, you know, the bills that you pay abroad. This group would not know certain things. There will be culture shock, there will be different things, but in terms of finances, this group have it a bit easier. So you might call this group, maybe 6 months into them staying here, they might be able to give you listening ears in terms of, like, you know, giving you money or those kind of things. This group have it a bit easy, as I said. So the struggle with this group is maybe about 50%, because the struggle with the student group will put it at 100%, but the struggle with this, you know, skilled worker, employed immigrant group is about 50% struggle. That 50% struggle, it might even be 80, it might even be 30% struggle for some people, because maybe they came with an oil company employment, maybe they came with an top engineering employment, maybe they came with a medical or research field kind of employment. So depending on the kind of employment, it can range from 50 to 30% less struggle for this group. So this group will not find it so hard. In fact, they are living their life almost immediately, especially maybe if they are single, you know, they are really living the life. If they are a couple, they are about living the life. If they have children, they are living the life a little. If their children is in nursery, they are living the life a little. Because nursery, don't joke with nursery in the UK, especially if they're in the UK. Don't joke with nursery. But anyways, you get what I mean. The struggle is not so real for this group. Let's talk about the illegal immigrant group. The group that, instead of coming abroad to visit and go home, they decided to stay abroad. No employment. In fact, no legal employment. You're having headache if you're working on the street, especially those who live in other. In fact, UK is good because UK, they won't stop you to check for your passport or your residency or whatever. They don't just, you know, do those random check. If you live in the country where they do those random check, then your heart is in your mouth every day. Like, you don't have peace of mind. You don't have peace of mind. You know, you're always thinking, what if they come and, you know, cramp me and deport me. So this group are the group that are struggling, and I feel like this group are a lot in these Western countries. Have you seen people that after 10 years of living in this country, they are still struggling to get valid paper? If you see those group of people, you would not envy them. Like, the next meal is what they are thinking of, what kind of job they'll do. In fact, these people are the ones that they cheat most, especially they treat anyhow, because you're basically at the mercy of your employer. You know, you don't want to find yourself in this group. So these are the really, really struggling group. But funny enough, these type of people, you see them dressing up nicely. You see them dressing up nicely, you know, trying to be happy, because they just have to try to be happy for themselves. But on the inside, they are not happy. On the inside, you know, they are just thinking, what if my papers get rejected again? What if, you know, randomly I just get picked up, you know, and I'm sent home. You know, some of them, they would even change address. They always change address so that they don't know where they are, you know, so that they don't come and pick them up. You don't want to be in this group, because these people are living from hand to mouth. Small thing, therefore enter street, make them go beg. I'm telling you. So when you see this sort of, when you hear about this sort of people, you know, especially in African countries, you tend to have a different perspective of, you know, going abroad. These sort of people, it would take them a really long time for them to find their feet and start enjoying the dividends of being in a Western country. And it would take them also a longer time to start laying foundation, maybe for their children, or, you know, if they have young ones. But if they have older ones, obviously those ones would have been laying their own foundation. But yeah, so there are just, you know, different sort of, you know, groups, you know, abroad, different, you know, kind of immigrants abroad. And don't mistake one set of immigrants for the other. Don't think that, you know, because this person is suffering, oh, I don't want to go abroad, or because this person is suffering, I cannot make it. Just have your own perspective on things, and just. But yeah, this is the essence of making this video. Don't think that one group applies to the other and the other group applies to this other. Because if you see people coming abroad and enjoying immediately, then you feel like, oh, why is this person not enjoying? It's because, you know, two people are not the same. Or if you see one person suffering and then you see the other person enjoying, you tend to say, oh, why is this person suffering? They are not the same. If you also see another person enjoying, immediately they come abroad, and you see the other person suffering, they are not the same. But I think I've talked too much on this topic. This is the end of the video. If you have watched up until this point, I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like this video, give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and if you think that this will help someone, definitely share my video. I would really appreciate it. Do take care, stay safe. Until I come your way next time, is bye from me. Mwah.